this time. Hey everybody, this is the WooFDriver. You are live on the dog cart with us in somewhere in Pennsylvania after the midnight hour. It's a little party we're having here. I've got 4 huskies with me. They're my huskies. I call them the Woof Pack, W-O-O-F. Just trying to keep Chase's attention away from chewing on his harness, which he likes to do. We've got Zorro. He's the most traditional looking husky with his mask and dark color markings. He's big for the husky breed. He does have some Malamute for him. That explains his big head. He's got about 40% Malamute in him. To the right of him is Chase, who I'm holding right now. He is tall for a husky, but very slender. Doesn't have that stout build. He's one of my other lead dogs besides Zorro. And he lopes like a wolf, looks like a wolf, has golden eyes like a wolf, and we call him Wolfman for short. The Jagster's behind Chase. Jag is the opposite. He's small for a husky. He's got that stout build. He's got blue eyes, and he's a trip. The Jagster's a wild man. Smile for the camera, Jaggy. There he goes. Hey, the Jagster! And Jags is Rhett's riding mate in the truck, so they have a special bond. Behind, to the other side now, let me see where this is the Princess laying down. She's the oldest and the only female of the pack. She's Chase. She's 12 years old, believe it or not, a little better than 12. She's out here doing this as well with her younger Wolfpack mates. They're all about 6. I've had Princess since she's been 4 years old. I've had her for about 8 years. And I've had the rest of the Huskies since they were puppies. She's chilled. Chase. So, through technology and through a lot of trial and error on our part, we're able to broadcast this feed live to you, and you're able to answer any questions you may have. Chase. You're able to answer any questions, able to ask any questions you may have, and I can hopefully answer them through Rhett relaying the message. Rhett's holding the camera and doing the controlling the camera shoot here as I drive the vehicle. We're scheduled to drive another, I believe, 1.5 to 2 miles to meet our pickup vehicle down at a pretty impressive bridge ahead. This is our second time on the trail. We've gone to this area twice today, but we've been on the trail last year, I believe. What's up? What? Thanks, Karen. I hope I'm saying your name right. Sorry if I did not. Thanks. Welcome to the WooFDriver party, and thanks so much for the kind words. Appreciate it. This is really cool stuff we're doing. I'm a husky dog expert, lover, and been doing this for about 20 years now. Take the dogs all over the east coast of the United States. We've gone as far as the Cape Cod Rail Trail up in Massachusetts. We're out of Baltimore, Maryland. We've gone from we've gone from Washington D.C., the nation's capital. We've actually mushed a trail there and mushed the National Mall. You can go to my website, MaximumHusky.com, and see some of the wild adventures we've been on. We've done the beaches on the Maryland Eastern Shore. That's Teak Island, it's called. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks, Nadia. Which one? Okay, that's Zorro. Zorro's 6 years old. He's a husky Malamute mix. If you could see his eyes, he's got blue eyes. And he's about 75 pounds. He is one of the lead dogs here on the WooFDriver team of dogs, Wolfpack. And he's a very good boy. His nickname is Gentle Giant because he's so gentle, but he's so big. So thanks, Nadia. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for visiting the party. If you haven't already, please, everybody, go ahead and like the WooFDriver on there so you'll be notified of any other live broadcast we do. I do all kinds of live broadcasts. I do all kinds of activities with the dogs. As I was saying, we drove the National Mall in Washington, D.C., and it was quite an extravaganza, for lack of a better term. As you can only imagine, the Secret Service was like wondering, what are you guys doing? And the park rangers and police there. The National Mall is from the Lincoln Memorial to the U.S. Capitol. And we didn't quite make it to the Capitol. We made it to where the Smithsonian is. We passed the Washington Monument. And it was just truly incredible. Kirwin. Thank you, Kirwin. Yeah, gentle giant. He's got that wolf-like look to him, but he's a baby. So he's a great dog. We actually have a little Chinese crested. I don't know if you know what that is. It's a little 7-pound hairless dog, and Zara's great with her. He's he loves everybody. He's very good. So Z-Man. Okay, I think we're ready. All right. Okay, come on, guys. Let's do this thing. Ready? Hike. So we have started our dog journey back up this evening. You're in the midnight hours with the WooFDriver live in Pennsylvania, bringing you probably a pretty wild spectacle that you haven't seen before. A dog sled on wheels that's a custom dog-built bike. It's a recumbent bike. It has 4 wheels, big, huge orange tires on it. It's got an electric motor to help power it. And it's got special attachments for the dogs so they can actually pull it or trot alongside it. Pretty interesting. And one of the specialized activities I do for the Huskies, do some other really cool stuff like off-leash free ranging, we call it, where we run on large farms where the dogs are off leash. They can commingle with some of the livestock and have pretty much free run of these farm areas through working farms, crop fields and everything. So you can only imagine they can meander through cornfields and corn mazes and enjoy themselves chasing each other and picking up on scents and exploring the area, to another activity we do called the Amazing Chase, which is actually, you can look this up on the internet, lure coursing. Come on. Which is a sport originally designed for sight hounds. And lure coursing is where they kind of best described as chasing a flag on a string. By the way, we just crossed the 18-mile marker. We've been out here for about 6 hours and 20 minutes. And that's 18 miles we've done for the day so far. Who said that? Who said it? I heard the question. Andrew. Thanks for the question and welcome to the party, Andrew. Great question. What I do is totally, it's up to the dog, what they want to do. So, in the past, the way I do it is, I don't necessarily retire them. We run the ride, or do the dog trip according to what the dog's capabilities are. What I mean by that is, if Princess, she's the oldest dog of this bunch right now, if she can only run a mile or 2 miles, she'll get on Rhett's lap or my lap, or a custom-made seat we have where we can put her up in it, and she can still enjoy the ride on the dog cart with the dogs, but she doesn't have to engage in any of the activity, or just as much activity as she can handle. It's always healthy. Okay, imagine this is like walking the dog on a bicycle, because that's the kind of pace we can go at. Right now we're going really slow, like 2.5, 3 miles per hour. Now we can go at bursts or sprints up to 15 miles per hour, but that would be too fast for Princess. So depending on her condition and what she wants to do, and as she gets older, she can choose to ride in the dog cart essentially or just do some light work. I always prefer her to do a little bit of work, a little bit of walking or trotting with the cart, because it helps discourage arthritis and keeps the fluidity of her joints and her body working. So that's pretty much how we handle it. Excellent question.
Misty asks, what book is the best to buy to learn the commands for Siberian Husky sweater?
Excellent question, Misty. Thank you so much, and welcome to the party. There's a book out there called, it might be a little too serious, called Dog Driver. I call myself the WooFDriver. Dog Driver is by the Sierra Nevada Sledding Club. It's actually from the 70s. That was an excellent book, but that might be a little too serious. There's a scootering book, I'm trying to think of the name, by a woman, I believe her name is Daphne. She's a big dog scooterer, and so she does scootering, which is kind of like, I don't know if you know what a scooter is, but it's a two-wheeled vehicle that's not pedal powered or motor powered. You power it by kicking, essentially, by one foot on the board of the bike or the vehicle and one foot on the ground, and you kick off of it, and you can attach dogs to it, and they're specifically made for that purpose. She's written a book and done a lot on it, and that's an excellent book to get as well. The basic commands can be learned even on my Woof website, which is called WooFDriver.com, W-O-O-F, driver, and I'll go over them real quick for you. Sled dog commands are basically to turn, you would say G. G means go to the right. Now, G over means to move over to the right, and G would be if I was making a right turn. So I would say G, G, G. I don't want to say it too loud. The dogs will start going to the right. Haw is the command to go to the left. H-A-W. Haw, haw, haw. If I want to move over to the left, if I don't want to do a full turn, I would precede the word over by the command G or haw. Then when you get, you might be doing a complete U-turn, so you would precede the word come around, like G come around or haw come around would be a complete turn. We say whoa, W-H-O-A, to stop the dog. We say easy, easy, taking our time saying that, to slow the dog up. And we say on by, to go by, to get them off of a distraction. So if there was another dog on the trail you were trying to pass, you might say on by, on by. That would tell them to keep going. Go on by, past the distraction. That's the way we memorize that. There might be some other terminology I'm not touching on here, but those are the basic terms. But of course, a book will explain it in more depth and could explain to you how to better train the dogs for those commands. Of course, the best way to do it, they use actually cones. You would set up like traffic cones you would see, and you would teach the dog to go around the cone as you steer them, either on a leash or when you graduate to a bike or a wheeled vehicle where you can actually command them and turn that vehicle, or do the command you're saying, if you're saying whoa, where you can stop it, etc. So great question, Misty. I hope that answers. I hope to have a book out. I have a few books out now, but they're fictitious books, usually stories that lightly talk about what I do, but more in a fictitious way. So they're great reads, but not quite what you're looking for. I hope to have my own book out, but in the interim, some of those books I mentioned might be able to help you out. Okay, as long as... What's that?
Still strong.
Good.
The connection is weak.
Good. We're getting a little feedback from Facebook saying our connection's weak. You got to remember, folks, we're out here in a pretty remote section of Pennsylvania, and it's amazing we have cell service at all. We do have a booster on board, again, part of the electronic array. I've been explaining why this is so unusual, to say the least. but it enables us to broadcast even in areas where the signal isn't as strong, and really provide everyone with a bird's eye view and a hands-on, almost a hands-on like experience of what we're doing. So you are again live with the WooFDriver. We're approaching 19 miles. I gotta believe we're getting near the 1 a.m. hour of the morning. Temperatures are in the 50s right now. Dogs are doing great, and we're loving life. The moon is still cloud filled or cloud covered, but you can see the full shape of the moon as it is a full moon now. I believe we have about a mile or so until we meet Crispy. He's part of our WooFDriver pit crew team, and Crispy's job is to maintain all the equipment and help plan the trips out, and drop us off, monitor us throughout our adventure, and pick us up after the adventure's over. He also is the drone pilot. We have a drone where we've documented some of this through aerial photography and videography, and that's called Airwolf 1. If you get a chance, go to that website, AIRWOOF, and the number 1 spelled out ONE. I have to pedal here, sorry. Need a little pedal assistance up a slight grade of hill we're on now. This has been a most incredible adventure today. Just love the outdoors, perfect temp for us. The dogs, it's good for above anything above 20 degrees is warm for the dogs, but as the season progresses into the warmer temperatures, they shed their undercoat, and it prepares them for the warmer temperatures. So every day we get later into the year, they get more prepared for these temperatures and more acclimated to them. So we've had some rather warm days